express train is inbound from level 3 dormitories.
Minigames are considered a staple when it comes to PC gaming. Titles such as Half-Life, Doom, the Elder Scrolls series, and much, much more. The game we'll be checking out is Diablo, a top-down action role-playing game developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment, released in 1996 on New Year's Eve for the US and then a worldwide release in November 1997, with a PlayStation 1 port coming a year later in March 1998. The version in this video is coming from the GOG.com re-release of Diablo. Someone was able to completely reverse engineer the Diablo source code so it could be playable on modern machines. For years, the only way to enjoy this classic was having original hardware, which a lot of people, myself included, were not ready to hunt down and assemble a Windows 95 machine. As soon as you boot the game up, you are greeted with a hellish looking start menu. Then you are required to pick a class, of which there is 3 classes: the warrior, the rogue, and lastly, the sorcerer. Each class has a special ability. The warrior's is the ability to fully repair an item, but it takes a point off the item's durability stat, so the ability is only good in emergencies. The rogue's ability is to disable traps on chests, and the sorcerer has the ability to fully recharge his staff, but like the warrior's ability, it takes a point off the total spell charge points of the staff. The warrior, which is who I will be playing as throughout this review, is a class that is focused on melee combat. While you are able to use magic, for the most part you will be sticking with attacking with your chosen weapon. The rogue, which is your archer of the game, she uses a bow that can launch an unlimited amount of arrows until the bow's durability runs out and the bow breaks. I only played the rogue for the first level to get a feel for the class and to grab some footage for this review. The third and final class is the sorcerer, your basic mage of the game that specializes in magic and spells. The special spell that can be used as a sorcerer uses one of your staff's charges, but I find that the way the spell is cast, it is unpredictable on which way it will go towards a target. Granted, I also only played the sorcerer for the first level as I did for the rogue. Out of all 3 classes, I found the rogue to be the easiest to use, with arrows usually hitting their intended target and basically having an unlimited amount of arrows. If you want an actual challenge, you either go warrior or sorcerer in my opinion. While each class has an intended role, you are not forced to go that route. For instance, even though I was a warrior, I had a lot of points into magic, so not only I could use some spells, but also increase their damage output. Speaking of stats, Diablo has 4 categories of stats, which include Strength, which determines how much melee damage you do and allows you to wear better or heavier armor. This stat is basically mandatory if you're playing warrior, like I was. Magic, which determines how powerful your spells are, while also increasing how much maximum mana you can have at one time, and determines what spells you can use. Dexterity, which increases the chance you can hit an enemy and block an enemy's attack, which is basically needed if you're going melee as a warrior. And lastly, Vitality, which basically increases your health points, or how much damage you can take before dying. As far as the story goes for Diablo, like every game, the story itself progresses as you progress. No one in town really knows why demons are in the church basement or why this Archbishop Lazarus has gone missing. While I won't spoil the ending, you can see it coming a mile away, and probably as you're hearing this. It ends on a cliffhanger that directly inspires the sequel, Diablo 2.
don't kill me. Just hear me out. I was once captain of King Leoric's knights, upholding the laws of this land with
While
justice
going through the levels of Diablo, you'll be occasionally given quests by town NPCs, which is almost all of them where go find me this thing in the level and bring it back for a reward, a basic RPG quest.
I fled from the king's burial chamber, searching for some way to free myself from the curse. I failed. I have heard of a golden elixir that could lift the curse and allow my soul to rest, but I have been unable to find it. My strength now wanes, and with it, the last of my humanity as well. Please, aid me and find the elixir. I will repay your efforts. I swear upon my honor.
I can see what you see not.
Sometimes you'll be given a quest to clear out a certain extra level, like clearing out the Halls of the Blind like I did. In my total time played, I completed 6 quests, which include the last 2 required story ending quests in order to see the ending cinematic. According to the Diablo fan Wikipedia, there are a total of 16 quests in the game, but each new character has a set of different quests that are open to them. So multiple playthroughs are required to see all the quests in the game. As for the controls of the game, you'll use your mouse for almost everything. Your mouse controls the way you go by clicking on the area you want to go, clicking to attack, and clicking to navigate the menus. The only time you use your keyboard is to use the shortcuts to consume what's on your taskbar or to get to various menus quickly. The game's difficulty for the most part is a pretty steady increase as you go through the first stages of the game, in which all levels are procedurally generated by the way, so each playthrough feels different. Levels 1 through 12 have a steady increase in difficulty by confronting you with new enemies and enemy types. The difficulty is all said and good up until you get to levels 13 through 15. The game just throws waves of new enemies at you, like the Succubus, who is probably my most hated enemy in this game. The Succubus not only throws demon lasers at you, but when you get near her, she runs away and will only stop if she gets stuck in a corner or she has a good distance away from you to start firing again. All the other enemies I don't have a problem with. The wizards at the end of the game were annoying, but killable. The Blood Knights may have had a lot of fucking health, but they were also killable. But just the goddamn amount of succubuses this game threw at me, I felt like I was playing Diablo, the shoot 'em up version. Like fucking look at this. I just turned the corner and... I didn't die that much in the game, mainly because I would buy a literal shit ton of potions, but the times I did die, it was either from my complete incompetence or a literal hell version of Compton. Saving the best for last, possibly the biggest thing that stuck out to me was the music. The town music fits the medieval demon-slaying theme that this game is going for.
Good day. How may I serve you?
Unfortunately, in the levels themselves, it's a mixed bag. Some of the beginning levels make it sound like Satan is at the bottom level just shredding on his little fucking guitar. While other levels have okay dungeon music, but nothing compared to the music you first started hearing when playing the game. Overall, I liked the first Diablo a lot. I had a good time playing, even though at the end it was literal hell, which is fitting for a game about hell. But I do think Diablo is a dated game that has been kinda tarnished by the passage of time. I would only recommend the first installment to newcomers who are interested in what started the Diablo franchise. The game now runs on modern systems finally, so if you're up to the challenge, load up Diablo and challenge not only hell, but the big man down under, Satan himself.